What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Live with Likely. I've been doing 5-minute chats with GPT, but I talked to Brad earlier this morning, and he was just itching to get on and go live and show you guys some of the cool stuff that we have going on behind the scenes. So this very specific training, we're not going to take a lot of your time, but we're going to give you some really cool stuff. I want you guys to stay to the end because we're going to give you a really cool tool at the very end. But the initial genesis of this whole training is going to be along the lines of advanced targeting and some of the stuff that we're doing with Chat GPT along with Likely Data. Because at the end of the day, everything that we do at Likely.AI is to help you target people who need to sell their property. Like, that's just the genesis of what we do. Instead of running out and doing mass advertising and spending a bunch of money on bulk lead sources, we're going to tell you exactly who you need to target. And now we're taking it one step further with GPT and our Likely Data of what to say to those people and how to say it, and then how to actually find people because of targeting to even talk to the people that you targeted to begin with. So like, it's this whole brain crazy explosion of things that are going on. So Mr. Brad McDaniel's here today. He's been working super hard behind the scenes, giving you guys some really, really good nuggets with our Chat GPT Volume 2 book, which we're going to give you guys access if you haven't already gotten access. It's in our free group, which the link will be below. But I want Brad to go into detail and show you guys exactly what is going into these prompts and how we're using it at Likely, how we've updated it inside Follow Up Boss. So for all of our Follow Up Boss users, we love you guys so much. We are inside Follow Up Boss daily, putting new things in there, and the new Chat GPT, the new chat, and these new personas that we're giving you guys access to are going to be in there too. So with all that being said, Brad, turning the table over to you and let you show the people exactly how awesome this stuff is.
Hey, thanks, Nick. I'm not the master marketer that Nick is. And so I started putting my hat on going, okay, we've done all this work in AI to build likely sellers, distress modeling, but how do I actually target them with ads, right? I know Nick, right off the top of his head, he knows what settings you need to do where in each setting, and on different platforms have different settings you can use and whatnot. I'm like, I don't do that. I have no idea what to do. And I would imagine that most realtors or real estate professionals have that same block when it comes to, okay, this all sounds great, but then how do I actually do it? So
it all started because you were trying to fire me, right? Is that the thing? You wanted to try to do it yourself? That's what.
How did you know that?
Like every good real estate agent. How can I get AI to do it cheaper? Sure, I see how it goes.
Exactly. Yeah. No, but yes. For everyone that doesn't have a Nick, that's what we want to basically bring with you, right? Is okay, you already have access to everything on our refresh engine platform, and now how do you target? Like, how do you take that to digital ad? So first thing is, I think Nick did a video the other day about buyer persona. Nick, how do I share my screen now? See, I'm like,
here we go. We got it right here.
There we go. So Nick did a thing on buyer persona because we were talking, I don't know, a week or so ago. And I was like, hey, I got this idea. What do you think? And Nick's like, dude, that's awesome. Let me share. I'm like, go with it, man. Do your thing. He's awesome. And as you guys can see, everyone loves what he does. So we say, hey, let's put that in here and make it a one-click thing. So now, as of today, if you have Follow Up Boss embedded app or have an account on my.likely.ai, you have now one click to the buyer persona. And why does that matter? Well, the buyer persona, think of it this way, is that when you're going in for a listing appointment, you want to be able to prove to them that you can find a buyer for that home, right? And outside of everything else you already do, which I'm sure you're great at, a way to show your expertise is these are the ad settings. This is who I'm going to target. And this is kind of where the person is that's probably going to buy your home, like mentally, what their desires are, what their pain points are, all that good jazz, right? So, you can type in any whatever address. I always seem to default to my folks back in Alamo.
Yeah, right? There you go.
And
make them famous.
Exactly, make them famous. And so you can say it's low. And what it's doing right now is it's taking that prompt and going. It takes a couple of minutes because the way it works with APIs is it doesn't start chatting it out. We send everything over and then we get it all back and slap it in here for you. So as that's running, wanted to show you how it's also now, if you have Follow Up Boss, Nick, using you, making you famous.
Yeah, there you go.
Inside of the Likely AI embedded app over here, we've added in a marketing tab, which I think most of you have seen. Now we've added 2 new things to this. So now where you can do new chats, like open chat. So it's your Chat GPT experience you've had anywhere else. So use it for commenting or idea gen or whatever it is. It's right here in your side panel in Follow Up Boss. So huge win for you guys. And then the second thing is we brought the buyer persona right into here. And so why is that matters? Because you don't have to leave here. If you like to work all in here, if you have an ISA working from here or a business development rep, and you say, hey, go to all of our people that are likely sellers or meet some other criteria you care about and click that button. So that way we can tell them this is exactly how we're going to target them digitally. That is what you can do, right? And so let's go back over here and see if it's done. There it is. So here's the buyer persona as it is today. Interests, pain points, desires. What other zip codes should you have these ads run to where buyers come from? So they're feeder pools. What zip codes are feeder pools for this property? If you're going to say, hey, I think your buyer's going to come from one of these areas, right?
Yeah.
The Facebook, LinkedIn, you see the different words to use, the social media, email, and direct mail, pretty straightforward. What else do they do? Places that they shop. Yeah, it's a nice area. So Williams Sonoma, Whole Foods. Yeah, basically whole paycheck, right? That's not my zip code, but that's kind of how those people live, right?
Yeah.
So that is what we're really excited is we now bring this level of targeting intelligence to you inside. You can see it's right here as well. It's already done. So males, females, Nick, your area is 75 to 150. White collar, entrepreneur, professionals, family values, safety, ambitious, lifestyle, tech savvy, active, busy. Does that kind of match playground,
Yeah.
fitness,
Yeah.
wellness, technology, your pain points, high cost of living, limited housing opportunity, commuting, traffic? Is that an issue in
Yep.
Tampa, right?
Yeah, because everybody's moving to Florida. You guys need to get out. We're full.
So what I would tell you to do is have your ISAs, guys, or yourself. It's one button. You then click this and you go over to a note and you hit paste, right? And if you want to go through and kind of like refine it out so you can kind of see it a little cleaner, because we cannot I guess format this note, right? It's a copy paste. But what you can do if you want to kind of like somehow get through it a little bit, make it easier to look at, as I was going through this earlier, where are the break points in this thing? See, high income, occupation, zip code, yada yada yada. So there it is, right there. Personality, ambition, personality. There we go. Psychographics. So you can just go through here in desires. There it is. Pain points. Right. You can kind of break it up so you can quickly see. And then there's also the add targeting settings down here. I'm not going to break it out on a 5-minute chat with you.
Yeah.
Now,
So why is this important, right? I think as we continue to go down the rabbit hole of marketing to homeowners, and up until this point, as far as ease of use, like our platform and what we're doing with these buyer personas, this would be a very detailed report that you would send, or if you were going on a listing appointment for a multi-million-dollar listing. This is advanced marketing for luxury type real estate. So any luxury realtors that are listening to this, put in the comments and let us know, have you gone through hours of research to present something like this to a luxury seller to say, I know that the buyer persona for this house is this, and they probably come from this area, and this is how I'm going to target. Because at that level, that seller wants that information. They want to know that if I entrust this multi-million-dollar sale to you, that you are going to be equipped with all the tools that you need to find me the buyer who's most likely to buy this property at the highest price. So what we're doing with Chat GPT, with artificial intelligence, with the likely data, is now you have the data to know who is most likely to sell, whether it's in your database or your farm area. If you're using our farm system, that sounded like a major league baseball.
yeah, it did. Batter up, man.
The farm system, or your likely farm. And so we know who is going to sell. Now we have marketing correspondence. And so what could we do with this? Could you see a world, and I've done plenty of marketing like this for realtors, where you go into a neighborhood and you door knock and or postcard and flyer and or run Facebook ads to say, I have buyers looking for homes in your neighborhood. Right? That this is another version of that. It's a slight different variation and a slight spin to say, maybe you don't have buyers in that market, and maybe you're a real estate agent, because I've talked to a lot of real estate agents who they know that if they got the listing, that they would be able to bring a buyer, and they're uncomfortable with marketing the fact that I have a buyer for your home, because 75% of agents who say that stuff are lying through their teeth because they know they're just trying to get in front of a homeowner. They don't really have a buyer specifically for that home, but it's the same reason you do an open house. You're not doing an open house to sell the house. You're doing an open house to get a new buyer. That's beside the point. But what this does is it gives you the ability to reach out to that homeowner, reach out to that, whether it's a direct mail, whether it's just an email, whether it's you're actually sending them a piece of paper with your pre-listing package, and this is in it. And you're saying, not only do I do this, this, and this on the marketing side, and this is why I'm awesome, this is my unique selling proposition, Mr. or Mrs. Seller, I know for a fact this is the ideal person that is going to buy your property, and I know 100% how to market to them. They're not going to hear that message from anybody else unless you're in the luxury game, and then that's kind of common practice. But the average listing in your market, $400,000, $500,000, this is like super, super advanced ninja tactics that is one button click with Likely.AI.
And that's the thing. It's a one button click. And when we started to kind of look at how do we add more to what we offer, right? You mentioned our GPT playbook, right? I don't know if anyone's actually looked into it. I know a lot of people have been downloading it, right? And we go into detail in a lot of different sections, like building a buyer, a seller persona. So here is a kind of watered down prompt. What I did with this is we took this one and we kind of put it on steroids a bit. And that's what you get when you run it directly through here. This is a much more robust prompt because it takes more injection of data. But for people that don't have our system, they can use this. If you want the next level up, start a free trial with this, guys. You can do this for all your contacts and you get this level of data. And then we knew that other people wanted like an ad targeting package, right? So this gives you a buyer or seller persona. This is a buyer persona, and some level of targeting metrics. Because you're watching this, we're going to put it on, like Nick says, a comment in our Facebook group. Come join. And what it's going to be is kind of the next level down from that, which is where it does a persona plus a full ad targeting package for you. And you can say, I want a buyer or a seller or a homeowner package, give a zip code, and then it builds it out from there. Okay.
Ninja, super ninja.
Putting
me out of business.
And it's giving you KPIs to look at, kind of the cost per lead, how much you should be spending a day by platform, and like what settings to have. Because I'm sitting there going, how do I do this? Like I can ask Nick, and I'm really lucky for that. But most people don't have an awesome guy like Nick to ask. So GPT is your new best friend if you don't have a Nick. There you go. So come join us, learn more with us.
Yeah. Yeah. And to round that out, so just so everybody knows, we're going to continue to iterate on this kind of stuff, right? The goal of Likely is to give you one push button type of things that you can just run with. So instead of spending hours or days or weeks trying to come up with plans for yourself, we're going to have one button pushes inside Likely that are just going to be the easy button for real estate. And when Brad talks about the injection of data, I know we talk a lot about Chat GPT, and Chat GPT is kind of the buzzword in the market right now. And yes, we have it integrated, but the secret sauce is not Chat GPT. The secret sauce is Chat GPT with the Likely data infused. And so that's the real secret sauce. So you can download the playbook, and I advise you to download the playbook because Brad spends hours giving you the best prompts for real estate, right? But it's not going to give you the best result unless you have the Likely data that's infused in there. So if you're using Follow Up Boss, if you're using our regular Likely app, that's where the magic really happens, and you can see it firsthand. Yeah, so that's my pitch. I don't sound too pitchy, but it's the truth. Chat GPT is cool, but it's not going to do everything for you by itself. You got to have that extra injection of data, which is what Likely does.
That's it, guys. Plain and simple. But we have not done enough of these, and thankfully we are doing more of them. And so let us help you. We want to give you a free trial. There's ways for you to test this, get a free playbook, use AI in your business. I've said this so many times. I mean, they say that is the new currency, or AI, I think, is quickly becoming the new currency. That's more valuable than raw data. And so if you don't start using AI, you will be behind. If you do, you will be someone who's crushing it within the next year. And there's a lot of fragmented tools. We are one of the first to have everything pulled together for you. So you don't have to go to 16 different places. We do that in our web app. And we also, because we love Follow Up Boss, we are doing more in here. And I get to hear this every day from other vendors, from partners, from investors, that the number of custom fields that we bring in and the quality of the data and the integration of the app are people who, man, like that's what we usually add on to other people's apps. So it's like kind of connects some of these other things. Like you guys are already doing it all. We do it because we come from the real estate industry. We have advisors in the real estate industry. Our families are in the real estate industry.
Yeah.
We get it, right? We've knocked doors. We've done it. And these are the tools that I wish I had when I was starting, or if I was running a team. Why? Because it makes me more efficient. And in a time like this, efficiency is king.
That's it.
That's it. So, guys, come use our tools. I think Nick's throwing some stuff in here, and I'm going to be putting in this prompt into the chat inside of our Facebook group. So I'm sure Nick will give you one.
Yeah. So the link to the group is in the comments. The link to the 14-day free trial is in the description above. Free group is in the comments, and then we're going to put this prompt in our group that everybody in the group can take advantage of it. And if you're not in the group, then I don't know what to tell you. You probably shouldn't be watching us anymore.
Come join it, guys. It's not a sales pitch. It's purely we're posting stuff that we find that we think is valuable for a real estate use case. Boom. That's it.
Love it. All right, guys. Until next time, we'll see you.